What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's having an excellent week. Exciting times with this team right now. They've won 2 in a row, heading into the bye. They're 3-3. And you think about how the AFC is currently playing out, where everybody's kind of jumbled together. If this team can find a way to win 9 or 10 games, they could be in the mix for the playoffs, which will be awesome and deserved because this team has a lot of talent. So now the question is, how do they get there? And currently their formula is excellent special teams, elite level defense, and the offense is somewhat contributing. And that's obviously not sustainable. You can't count on your defense to hold the opposing team to 14, 15 points a week. It's gonna, you got to balance it out a little bit more. So that falls on the offense, and let's see where we go from that. So first and foremost, it's the offensive line, and the offensive line has been a work in progress, just mainly due to injuries. Dwayne Brown went out, Elijah Vera Tucker went out. Now Joe Tippmann's banged up. We won't know his status till next week. So you figure they have 2 weeks to get things figured out. If Tippmann's out long term, do they go out and sign a replacement, or do they start moving guys around? Dwayne Brown's going to come back. What do you do with him? Me personally, I'd keep Mekhi Becton at left tackle, but Dwayne Brown doesn't play at right tackle. So does Saleh go back to we're playing our best 5? That's a sticky situation, man, because if I'm Becton, I'm like, I don't want to move, man. Like, this is where I'm comfortable. I'm playing well. So that's going to be a tough task for Saleh, man. But it's paramount to get this offense rolling, because right now, the running game has not been truly established. They're still struggling to get go. And then you also want better pass protection, where you don't want Zach running for his life or taking big hits. So offensive line, big question. I know Carter Warren's back, but he's more of a project. Schweitzer last week started out rough, played better, but you got to lock things up. I know the Jets worked out La'el Collins. As of this video, he hasn't signed. He didn't sign with the Giants either, so you're wondering what's his state. But I would do some tinkering, man. And the Dwayne Brown thing is going to be fascinating because he's a leader in the locker room. At running back, Dalvin Cook, for the most part, has been disappointing. He doesn't look explosive. And to be honest with you, I think they're keeping him as the insurance policy to Breece Hall. Whether that's smart or not, I don't know. Everybody wants to kick Dalvin Cook out and trade him. I'm not really sure what his value is, or if even the Jets' loyalty to Cook will even do that. My question is, when do you get Izzy involved? Because the Jets need that speed on offense. Breece Hall has that home run ability. He's definitely almost back to 100% form where he's a top 3 running back in the NFL. But you kind of want to get Izzy activated in this game plan because you need more speed. You want to get a guy in space that can take off. So what does that mean? Does Michael Carter become a trade candidate? I know they like Michael Carter for kind of maybe short yardage and also in pass protection, which Izzy's definitely not good in blitz pickup. But you got to find a way to incorporate him. So you can't obviously activate 4 running backs, especially when you have Nick Bawden as a fullback. But you may have to do some tinkering there. You have to, because the whole Cook thing and just not getting enough yards after Breece is starting to become annoying. I'd also like to see them use Breece out of the backfield a little more, catching passes. At the wide receiver position, it's becoming kind of interesting how the Jets are handling it. Garrett Wilson, obviously his numbers aren't where you want them to be, but you see the talent week in and week out where they feature him. He's making incredible throws. He's playing physical. He got banged up last week, and the MetLife turf is just pissing everybody off, where it just seems like it's a liability at this point. But after that, you're kind of getting what you expected out of Allen Lazard. This was the rap out of him coming out of Green Bay. He can make the circus-like catches. He's a good leader, but he's going to have untimely drops, which we saw last week, and that penalty too, which was brutal. After that, you have Randall Cobb, who is not really contributing all that much. Hardman's been MIA for whatever reason. He's in the doghouse. And then you have Xavier Gibson, who's coming on, which if you're going to keep him, if you're going to have him in your 5, give him a lot more opportunities, man. Because as mentioned previously, you want all that speed, man. Get Gibson a lot more involved. If Cobb's not going to contribute and he's just going to be this guy, then why not give Brownlee a chance? Or you have Irv Charles, who's doing great on special teams. Give him a chance. Or more importantly, maybe make a trade for somebody or look somewhere else. I know the Eagles just picked up Julio Jones. Not that he's high on my list, but you need another weapon. You need another wide receiver. That's just my honest opinion. I'm not sure who that is. I know I do a show with Jet Central. He's been begging for Hunter Renfrow. I wouldn't mind that. There's going to be teams that are going to be buyers and sellers at the trade deadline. I think the Jets should be buyers because they have too much talent. You want to add pieces to it. The tight end position, I want to see Rucker get more opportunities. I think they all do a really good job of blocking downfield. They're all big. They're all physical. Conklin is a great threat downfield vertically. He's really coming on. He has that, I'm trying to think, he reminds me almost like of a Shockey or something. When he catches the ball, he looks like for contact, man. He's just mauling people and fighting forever. But Rucker has that same ability. Great target. He's had big catches the last couple of weeks, and you want to see him grow with the offense. And then it comes down to the quarterback, where Zach Wilson's kind of like he's a guy who gets all kinds of reactions, man. Either people hate him, they love him, or in the middle. Me personally, I think that he shouldn't have played this year. I said that all year long. I wish right now we had a Teddy Bridgewater or a Minshew quarterback in this team instead of Zach. But the situation is he's here. So my first move would be I'd make Trevor Siemian the backup in case Zach either A, gets hurt, or B, starts to falter. In game, I want a guy that I know can win football games. I don't want to take a chance with Tim Boyle. So Trevor Siemian's been here long enough. We're coming out of the bye, making me number 2 quarterback. I don't care about Tim Boyle's feelings. In terms of Zach, you got to figure he was thrown into the spotlight, which you didn't expect. New offense, new system, revamped offensive line, and new targets. He's figuring it all out. And I think week by week, he's doing good, he's doing bad, but I think he's definitely improving. His mechanics look better, his footwork looks better, accuracy's better, decision-making is getting better. He's by far a finished product. He's by far a top-level starting quarterback. But for what the Jets have right now, you're seeing some good things. And I'm hoping throughout this bye week, and most importantly, with Aaron Rodgers in the building, it's going to help him a lot. And, like the NFL is a week-by-week league, man, where it's just like, last year, Daniel Jones won that freaking playoff game. He thought, oh, he's a hero of New York. He's playing great. And now Giant fans want Tyrod Taylor to play. Like, everybody's only as good as your last performance. So that's how, and with Zach, it's even more critical because he's been disappointing for the last couple of years. So I think you see a lot of really good things. And I'm hoping that, they're moving the ball well between the 20s. Now it's a matter of the red zone offense, which Saleh and Hackett and Rodgers and Wilson for the next couple of weeks are going to be harping on it. Like, how can we be better in the red zone? Because it's like the progression of an offense. You figure out how to block, you figure out how to run, you figure out how to pass, you figure out how to score. That's how this naturally works out with a new little system here. And I think there's potential. There's definitely potential. You'd like to see more aggressiveness, throws actually into the end zone. Every stream we do, I'm like, throw a fade pass to Garrett Wilson, throw a fade pass to Conklin. Use these big targets because you have them. And worst case, there's an interception. But the 3 other options are you have a catch, a touchdown, pass interference, or an incomplete pass. So 3 of the 4 options are good. So I'd be more aggressive there. I think play calling can help as well. I really think that the hope here is that Zach keeps growing. I think if he grows, it's like the problem I think we have is he's not growing fast enough. We want to win now. We want to see results now. And it's just not that fast for him. It's like his light is slowly coming on. We want it to be like a light switch, like on, off, like, off, on, like that. But it's going to be like, it's just a slow progress. There's going to be a blip in the screen. They take a step back, and then he's going to come forward. But the Jets are rolling with him, man, because right now it's like the trade deadline is October 31st. We're going into the bye. They're not making a trade for Cousins. They're not making a trade for Tannehill. It's done because they don't even play this week. There's no big hoopla around him. Now, if they lost on Sunday to the Eagles and they're 2-4, there'd probably be a lot more just screaming and yelling. But I don't think the Jets are moving on from him. I think they're trying to really back him. You see the locker rooms rallying around him. The players are starting to buy in, and I think as he plays a little bit better, the team is respecting him more, and they're moving further ahead. So like I said, the offense has to score more points. I wish they could establish a running game, but I think teams are going to keep saying, you know what, until Zach Wilson can prove to us that he can consistently beat us, we're going to keep daring him to throw. So it's up to Zach to adjust and Hackett to adjust. I like when they roll him out more, more tempo and more quick passes, which in the past he couldn't complete, and now he is completing them at a higher level. His completion percentage is up. So I think that, I guess I'm taking the more positive approach here where I have a little more faith in Hackett. I think the more faith is with Aaron Rodgers literally sitting there in the room, in a meeting room, helping film, breaking it down, that I think Zach can contribute a little bit more, and this offense can score enough points where this team can win 9-10 games. I honestly believe that. That's the hope. But if that doesn't happen, I will say, you know what? You don't let the season go down with Zach. I let Trevor Siemian play. And ideally, I wish it was somebody else, but the Jets have been so stubborn with that. That's not going to happen. So let me know what you guys think. I think that this is going to be an interesting second half of the season. The one thing that I'm really worried about is coming off the bye in that Giant game. That is a must-win game against a bad team. Huge hometown rivalry game, all in New Jersey. I mean, I have all Giant fans that be going crazy, but you've got to win that game. Don't take all this publicity and all this success and all these accolades now over the next 2 weeks. Let it go to your head. You come out flat, and next thing you know, you're 3 or 4. Be like, what just happened? Now you have no wiggle room. Now you got to start stacking wins, and you got to start beating these teams because you got to start rolling because you have no more wiggle room. And you really wish they won that Patriot game, man, because if you're 4-2 right now, and that's also a conference game, you'd feel a little bit better. But let's see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you later.